DJ just run to the room and then ask me to record. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so that's the second one. And then the last one is that you can be aware of the issue. So this is just like more regional context, right? But then you can say like, is it the same issue that you're having in your anything? Then you should bring forward and you should discuss with your MC like how you can improve or how you can solve the issue. Okay. Yeah. Is it clear for everyone so far? Like if you clear it, you can give me a wave. If not, you can ask me question. Nice. If you don't understand, you can understand later. It's okay. Okay, so first of all, right, we will go through the ED lab report. So I will not go through everything. I will just go through the highlight only. But for detail, right, you can click the link here and then you can read the report. Yeah, so you can also do that after this day. Okay. So I will be the one who walk you through this report. So yeah, so this is the objective of ED Lab, right? Is that we try to understand the current financial state and also like any trend that we observe among AP and also the sub-regions. Like for example, like how is the finance of South Asia, how is the finance of South Asia, and then other sub-region as well. And then we also try to identify these are the key issue that usually AP we have in terms of finance, and then how we can improve or how we can fix. Yeah. And also like look into like the recommendation that we can provide to everyone. So when we look into finance, right, these are the scope that we will look into. So first of all, we will look into profit and loss. So why we look into this, right? Because we want to understand that as an organization, right, are we generating profit to sustain ourselves or not? Because if you're making loss while running an asset operation, right, basically you cannot survive. Yeah. And then second is more about like revenue distribution and also cost distribution. So it's more about like understand where we get the money from, and then is it aligning with the focus that we're having. For example, like you say you focus on EWA, but then your money is come from ELD, for example, then which means like there's something wrong in our operation strategy or like yeah, those kind of things. And also we look into cost distribution, so like we can understand like is it very costly to run this kind of product, and then how is the investment allocation, are we invest in the right place, or like we just make random investment. Yeah, like for example, like if BD is making a lot of money, right, but then we don't really spend for BD, then maybe we should adjust on our investment plan. Then we'll also look into business model and also distribution model, so we can understand like when you have different business model and then distribution model, right, how is it reflect upon our finance state? Yeah. So for the data from 1 to 6, right, we will get it from GFB data, and then for 7 to 8, it is the data that provided by your MCB, your predecessor. Yeah, and I think your predecessor asked the current MCVB finance to fill in, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Then, yeah, so far, is it clear for everyone? Clear, you can put away. If no, you can ask question. Who's he have background finance? Okay, nice. Yeah, so move on next, right? So first of all, let's look into our profit and loss. So this is profit and loss accumulated. So what does it mean as accumulated is that, for example, you look into February 2022. So if we end our term on this month, so basically we will have a total of 3.8K as a region. So this is the profit that we're able to generate like in the past one MC term if we end term in February. So this will accumulate every month. Yeah. So if you look at the graph, right, it's very easy to see that the blue line is like the MC profit and loss. So basically MC making a lot of loss. It's always under like the zero line, and then LC is like the main profit generator in AP. Yeah. So usually their line will be above. They also make loss sometimes, but then most of the time they will be above. And they have the peak in November. So probably this is the peak where sales and also like product revenue coming in. Yeah. Then, so if we look into sub-region context, right? So you will see, yeah, the first thing you will see that every of the sub-region we are negative in MC MC profit. So like every MC is making loss. So it's also consistent with the previous graph, right? And then you can see that East Asia, right? They are making loss for both MC and LC layer. So that's why everything is like negative for East Asia entity. And then you can see that Southeast Asia, they are very good in LC profit. Yeah, you will see like their LC profit is very high, the highest in the region. And then, but then as an entity, right? So South Asia and then Southeast Asia, they doing quite okay because they are able to have profit. Yeah. Okay, and you can also see here like the top MC that they're making profit and also the top AT that they're making profit in LC. Yeah, so good job to India. Good job to Indonesia, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka because you are making profit in both MC and LC level. Yeah, so you can keep up the good work. Okay. Then if you look into this is the profit and loss that we plan. Yeah. So if you see here, right, we have East Asia. So East Asia, the issue is that they budget for loss, which means like from the time that they make the budget, right, they already plan for loss. So this is something that not very healthy because like you should budget for surplus. You should have profit in your budget. Yeah. Otherwise, like how can we survive, right? Like if we budget for loss already. And then so for the actual is that we have East Asia and also like OP, Oceanic Pacific, they are also making loss. Yeah, and then AP in general compared to like what we plan. Yeah. Okay. Then so this is the first bottleneck, right? Is that we budget for loss for certain AT. Actually, right, for all the subregion, there are also certain AT that you guys budget for loss. Yeah, but then maybe like other entity they budget for profit a lot. That's why like the amount is still positive here. But then I think like I noticed that across the subregion there are entity that you budget for loss. Yeah. So when you do MC planning, right, ensure that you need to check like whether your MC will be the end budget is it have surplus, is it generate profit or not. Yeah. Then the second one is that we are making loss at MC level. So you can see the line of MC, right? So not all of the MC is able to generate revenue to sustain itself. So you can look into like how we can improve that at MC level. Yeah, so that we can have more AT sustainability. Okay, cool. Yeah. Is it fast so far or is it okay for you? I think if okay, then you can type okay. If it's fast, then I will go slower. Nice. Okay. Then next one, we will look into revenue distribution. We look into revenue distribution. So this is the top three revenue stream in AP as a whole. Is that we have the most revenue from our BD. Yeah, so BD is like the cash cow for AP. We have like 33% from BD, and then we have around 20% from EWA. And then not I don't know, is it surprising for you? But it's surprising for me. Is that 20% come from conference. So which means like we also make money from our conference. Yeah. So basically this is quite aligned with the focus that we have in our region. Yeah. So which means like our product is performing quite okay. And then but then one issue that we're having, right, is that we have around 20% revenue coming from miscellaneous. So miscellaneous, right, which means like the revenue that we don't know which kind of product is it coming from. So it's come from a part that it's not like the core product that Isaac is doing. For example, right, like some entity, they actually provide like visa service. So it's not like an Isaac product, right? So it will be recorded as miscellaneous. Yeah. And ideally, the miscellaneous percent, it should be less than 5%. Yeah. So if you look into ELD specifically, so the highest one will be GTA, IGV, and also OGTA. Yeah. But mainly for IGV, right, the revenue come from Sri Lanka, Korea, and also India. Yeah. And one issue that we have is that we're making a lot of loss in OGV. So mainly it's from Vietnam, Thailand, and also India. I think maybe why we make loss is that we have the refund, the approval refund. I think it's due to the pandemic or like during the pandemic also. Yeah. And India is like the only entity that they actually gain revenue when they run OGV. Yeah. Okay. So for the ELD distribution, right, which means like we only count among the ELD themselves. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And this is when you look into subregion. So the same, right? When you look into subregion, BD and EWA, they still dominate for the revenue stream for all the subregion. Apart from BD is apart from OP. I think because like OP, they have Australia and New Zealand, but then New Zealand don't really run BD. Yeah, that's why it be different for OP. And then for EWA, so it's apart from East Asia. Yeah. And then East Asia, they have a very high percentage come from miscellaneous. And South Asia and Southeast Asia, you need to take notice on your OGV operation because it have like revenue, negative revenue. Yeah. Okay. So basically, right, the next issue that we need to take notice is that we have very high percentage in miscellaneous, which means that we unclear like we generate revenue, but that is not coming from our core product or our product portfolio. Yeah. So then where's like the money coming from? Yeah. And then another issue is that for GV product, right, we have negative gross profit margin. So we're not making profit from the product. We're actually losing the money when we reach some GV. So how we can improve on this one? Okay, cool. Yeah. Any questions so far? Okay, then I will move on. Next one, it will be about cost distribution. So the same, sorry, not the same. So for cost distribution, right, you will see here is that mainly we will spend on overhead costs. So around like 50% it will be overhead. So which means like we quite invest in our MC salary and allowance, or maybe it's either that your MC office accommodation. Yeah. So it's a good side that we actually invest in HR. Yeah. And then, but we have a large amount that we spend on miscellaneous, which is like 95K. Yeah. So if we actually spend on miscellaneous, right, these are the investment that we don't really have like clear or direct impact on the organization performance and also development. Yeah, because the money is not going into our product or like our main operation, right? And then, so if you look only into ELD product, then there's a lot of investment go to IGV. So it takes more than 50% or more of the ELD. Yeah, so either it's very costly to run IGV, or like I'm not sure like MC is taking decision to invest in IGV. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you look into subregion context, yeah, so it's still the same context, except the miscellaneous is a bit high, especially for Southeast Asia country. Yeah, it's around like 18%. And usually East Asia and OP, you have the highest cost in overhead. But it's also reflect in terms of like this country, the living standard is higher. Yeah, so it will be more costly for this entity from East Asia and also OP. Yeah. And then South Asia, they have very high cost in conference because like some of South Asia country, they have physical conference already. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So another thing that in terms of cost, right, we also need to look into like why are we not investing the money in focus product or like the one that have more tangible outcome? Why is it that we have high percentage in miscellaneous cost like this? Okay. Cool. Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah. I give you some time. If no, you can put away. Okay, nice. Okay. Next one for balance sheet. Yeah. So you will see here, right? Is that the money in our bank account for both MC and FC is increased a bit, like 7 to 8%, but it's still increased compared to the last year record. And then basically MC, oh no, sorry, MC receivable actually decreased 11%, and then LC receivable is increased 13%. Yeah, but however, right, while like MC you able to collect the money, but then you also increase in your liability, like you have more debt. Yeah, and then LC is only otherwise they increase in the receivable, so maybe they have more sales, but you also need to take notice like is your LC doing well in terms of collecting back the money from partnership or like yeah, or from their receivable. And then also like LC is able to pay off the debt. Yeah, that's why their debt, their liability decreased by 4%. Yeah. Okay, cool. So which mean right, like take notice of the increase in receivable and also liability. How long does it take for your LC MC to collect the receivable, and then how long does it take for you to pay the liability? Yeah, so it will reflect like how well you're doing in terms of cash flow management. Okay, then we will look into program efficiency. So for this part, right, I will just briefly let you know like how is like the profit margin for each product. Yeah, so we know like is it how we need to improve in each product. Yeah, so first of all, when you look into EY, so EY is a product that is quite positive because like the GBM, the profit gross margin, is quite optimal at MC and also LC level. Yeah, so the GPM, right, it should be at 70%. Yeah, okay. And at the same time, is that AP is the region that we perform very well in terms of revenue achievement for EY. So we achieve around like 95% compared to other region. Yeah, so this is also our focus product. Okay. Wait, do you know what's profit? What does GBM mean? Like what does it represent? Just cross check. Yeah, if you guys know Cinderella's RPM, sorry. If you know, right, you can tap yes. So if you tap no, I will explain again. Do you know what GPM is? Like what does it stand for? Yeah, gross profit margin. And then what does it like? What does it represent? Like the meaning of GPM? Yeah. Or the MCB? Do you remember like what is GPM from RPM? Yeah, we have MCBB finance here. Yeah, so it's what can I put, right? It's direct revenue minus direct cost. So it show like how much profit you're able to make. Yeah. Okay, cool. Then let's look into IGV. So IGV is a more problematic product, right? So if you see for IGV, then we don't have data for MC level. And then the profit margin for LC level is very low. It's only 40%. So it's under like the standard percent that we should have. And the same for the energy GPM. Yeah. So then you also will see here, it's actually like MC, we're not making revenue. So the revenue line is actually flat, but then MC still need to spend, they need to have like some cost for IGV. So it can be like they pay for ICBK, or it can be like certain investment that they put with together with the LC. And then the same for OGV is that we have negative GPM for MC and also LC in OGV. Yeah, because we actually have refund and we need to pay for OGV when we print this product. Yeah, that's why you will see the revenue line, right? It's below zero. Yeah, and then IGTA is the product with the highest GPM in AP. Yeah, so it's more than 90%. So it's quite optimal for IGTA. Yeah. Okay. And then for OGTA, the profit margin is still okay, a bit lower at MC level and then higher in LC level. So which means like LC is like the main performer for OGTA product. Yeah. Okay. But then if you notice that the MC line, right, it will be negative in February. So which means like maybe in February, MC offer some discount or MC have like some reimbursement for breaking approval. Yeah, that's why we go down a bit, but it's not very significant. Yeah. Okay, and this is the profit margin for BD. Yeah, so it's still quite optimal, around like 80% something. But then for BD is that it will have cash flow at certain months. Yeah, that's why it will have like more peak for BD revenue. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, then wait, let me give you this. Okay, cool. So right, this is the main issue that we're having in AP. Is that we budget? Sorry, this one. Wait, that slide. Okay, so these are the main issue that we're having in MC, no, in our region, right? So now I will put you into breakout room, and then in the breakout room, you can discuss more like how do you think we can solve the issue? What are the solutions that we can have so that we will not have this issue anymore in the coming MC term, or even like in the long term, we can improve on the aspect. Yeah. So for example, right, if your AT is very good, like for example, your MC is making a lot of revenue at MC level, you can also share the GCB with your MCB teammate. Okay. I will screen cap this photo and then I will send to the MCB group. And now I will put you into the breakout room. We have 7. Okay, I will have 2 groups, no, 3 groups. So I have the pairs. Okay. Now you can go to the breakout room and then you can discuss with your MCB mate. Yeah, I will give you 6 minutes. Okay, now you can go to the breakout room and then I will send this slide in the chat. Okay. Share, are you joining the breakout room? Người ta làm thiếu slide cái gì đó rồi. Wait. Oh.
That yeah, so welcome to ED Lab, people for people, and I will just walk you through the overview of the contents. Yeah, so in here for this one is the ED Lab introduction. So it's just talking about ED Lab and ED Lab MXP. So the first part I will talk about Gen Z behavior, because majority of the people right now in this organization, in your LC or in your network, also belong to Gen Z. Also us belong to Gen Z. Yeah. And then after that, I would just like walk you through external HR data and Isaac HR's history. And after that, I will present you guys the MXP data and insights and some recommendations. So basically, I will not just present, but I will send it link for you guys so you guys can go through it and talk in the breakout rooms. Okay. So first will be Gen Z behavior. Born in 1996 until 2012. So this time for review. So you can type down your birth year here so I can see. For example, I was born in 1998. 2000. 1999, 2000, 1996. Ali also, yeah, you belong to like the mature kids in the Gen Z one. 1998, 1999, 1999. So you see, all of the people here belong to Gen Z. Yeah, and which means your network is younger than you as well. So I cannot really believe when right now I come back to my LC and then I deliver like the section last week, and all of the people, all of the newbie there just like was born in 2003, and I feel like, oh my God, I'm too old. Yeah, in Gen Z. But actually right now is the time that we need to just discover about Gen Z behavior so that you can know how to lead your network or how to lead your MC, how to lead everyone's better. Cool. So you can read a lot of things on the Google, but actually this is one of the key insights that I put here. For example, Gen Z and the internet, because we were born in the era of all of the people around us using everything from the internet. And actually because of the internet, we are very smart, but we also receive a lot of like information, which is we need to have a filter on which information we catch on. And for example, this one, right? A lot of people from Gen Z using text and chats. Yeah, so some of the facts here, they spend a lot of free times online, even after they finish the work or finish the school, finish everything, they still use the free time online. For example, like entertainment, watching TikTok, watching YouTube, surfing Weibo, Facebook, Instagram, any kind of things, but 8+ hours a day. Even for me, it's like 24 hours. Even sometime when I wake up in the middle of the night, I still check my social media. Yeah, and they use internet connected devices for texting and chatting, or they have a smartphone, or like 95% of teens report that they have a smartphone or access to one. Yeah, they shop online. So right now you can see, even in your countries or everywhere, people just like using mobile phone, internet to order something, or using transportation. They even go online. Yeah, they check mail a lot, multiple times a day, and receive a lot of emails from brand and from our organization as well. This one is interesting. I feel very connected. Gen Z will not use any app or website that is too slow to load. And I feel very connected whenever I surf on Expa. Sorry, Isaac, but yeah, we need to make it like faster, right? So in here, we watch more like 3 hours online videos every day. We watch TikTok, Douyin, we watch everything. And then we follow our influencer on social media as well. As you can see, like if you want to know your crush interest, just go on the Instagram, on their social media channel, and then see who they follow. So this is just a fun fact, but I have my crush on Isaac in Malaysia back then. But then after that, I checked his Instagram, and I saw him following a lot of like boy love couple and something like that. And then after that, I just asked him from 1 to 6, how gay are you? And then he just confirmed with me that 6. Yeah. So basically, if you want to know anything, you just go on their social media and see the influencer on social media that they are following. And actually, you can make it the same for like just stalking a bit on your members, like your MC members, to see the interest, and then you will have more topic to talk to them. And social media influence half of the Gen Z, and I feel myself as well. So ask why from 1 to 6, not from 1 to 10. This is the scale. I think I learned this scale like from a chair in a conference, and at that time he used from 1 to 6. I don't know. Yeah. So I just copied the way of asking. Yeah. So, and then we're coming to the insight from mobile phone one. Yeah. So we use half of the people in Gen Z use our smartphone 5 or more hours a day, and use their phone 10 or more hours a day. You see a lot, right? So your number is the same. We report that having smartphones access to ones, some transactions that happen online. We use the smartphone. We use like 60% TikTok user. Say Instagram is their preferred social media channel. Use social media to learn more about new products. And 42 of this age group feel that social media has the direct influence on how they feel about themselves. Yeah. Coming to here, so it's more related to Isaac and Gen Z, because we also consider it as a workplace, right? So Gen Z and workplace, we feel like we don't consider college that the only path to a strong education. For example, in Vietnam, I still feel that maybe I can sacrifice my GPA for other activities because I can learn a lot of new skills or soft skills outside based on Isaac or some organization I work on. Over half of the Gen Z say that they want to start their own companies. Yeah. And then Gen Z members describe them as capable of driving their career. We are more individual independence on deciding our career. Yeah, comparing to our parents, right? We're in the past having some kind of traditions that your parents will follow with the careers that the grandparents going, right? But right now we are more like dynamic and we're more independence on deciding. And then 77 of Gen Z saying that company diversity would be the deciding factor when we look for job. We are very familiar to technology as well, so we want to work in the company that's more fast-paced and cutting edge technology. We are confident in terms of tech skill needed for the employer. Like we are not really scared of using Slack, Asana, any kind of tech-based like tool. Yeah, and for 70% of Gen Z, salary is the top motivator. Yeah, this is some of the very interesting facts that I just found out. So right now, based on this, all of this one, before coming to, what to notice? Yeah. So I just present this one as well. The last one, the stress one. Recently, this topic is very, very, very important as a conversation to discuss in organization, right? So top 3 causes of overwhelming level of stress across Asia Pacific. This is more specific into AP, that we are more feeling stress in terms of family relationship. Sometimes I feel also anxiety or even depressions just because the family's relationship. Sometimes we have career pressure, not just with the pressure or expectation from our parents, but the society as well, having some career pressure on us. And then friendship. So this is top 3 causes of overwhelming level of stress across AP. And also because we have a lot of like social dilemma of the stress, of the source of stress as well. So because we was born in an area of like internet based, right? So we have a lot of social media. It also have the positive influence and negative one as well. So we find it positive because we can connecting to people. Like right now, we sit in different places, but we gather here as once and then listen to the section of C4ND Today's. We have a lot of news, information, any kind of things that we don't have the answer. We just go on internet and search for that. But negative influence as well. At the same time, we can listen to the negative story with a lack of real connections, and we have the pressure to be constantly busy, checking social media. We feel uncomfortable whenever we cannot reach to our phone or internet, or sometimes we feel like lacking of the information. This is the thing. The source that where do we find those data? I also put some of the sorts here. For example, like the Gen Z affect Dell technologies. So I go on this those research and then take those data. I still have some sorts here. 99firms.com. Yeah. So you can go on this one, and we have a lot of like interesting research and data to read about Gen Z. Yeah. Cool. So with all of this one, I would love to send you guys into the breakout rooms so that you can discuss about Gen Z behavior, how you relate to that, and also as a leader, as an MCP of the organization with a lot of Gen Z, how can you utilize those behavior, or how can you lead your members better? Yeah. So we can have the breakout room for 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Group of 3, 2 or 3. Yeah. Mary, maybe you can support me. Thanks.
Yeah, the breakout room is open. You guys can click join.
Yay. Thank Mary. What? Okay, any sharing about Gen Z? Some funny things?
Yeah, I can share because I was in a breakout room with Pooh and Camille, and none of us use TikTok, and we all express like we don't like using TikTok for some reason. Yeah, and we agree like for this generation they are more okay, so it's Thomas. Like our membership is more seeking personality. That's a very big common point we're having for each other. Yeah, they are seeking for also have diversity. They want to express themselves, also want to be included in a certain community for that. Yeah, but also I share like for my network, they're having more options right now for their personal development. Yeah, not only Isaac and academically. Yeah, so it makes them. The good thing is that they have more ways to develop themselves. The bad way is like they are more easily to give up on one way since they have too many options. They have too much things to attend to spend their energy. Yeah, so that's a thing I'm also reviewing about my network. Yeah, so that's just from our breakout room.
Understand. Any more sharing? By the way, you guys use Douyin, right? Like TikTok?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Thailand we call TikTok. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Any more sharing?
I can go.
Yeah.
I think the part where the Gen Z really is not concerned about their traditional college degree or academics, and this can be leveraged, and we as an NTP we can actually give them the idea that through Isaac they can develop the skills that is necessary for them, even if they want to be an entrepreneur, or even if they want to go for big companies. As it could be the place where they could relate, because previously I think a lot of people were more concerned about academics, but in terms of my country it's still a bit tough because people still really care a lot about academics. That's there. And the other thing about this experience is that probably they have a lot of pressure from family, which could be a challenge for us, and the career pressure that they have, like right after graduation they have to look for a job that is a full-time job. But a lot of people don't realize is that probably if they stay in Isaac or like-minded organization, they can develop the skills better, and they can be more prepared for better job opportunities in bigger companies, or they can also be well prepared for being an entrepreneur if they can give a little bit time and understand the value of staying in organizations such as Isaac. So that's something that we can struggle with Gen Z. So I think that was my opinion. That's something that we discussed in my room.
Understand. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you for the sharing. And I also prepared some of the things here, but actually I will not share it as a tick, right? As a list, because I see you guys will be the one who master it a lot. But I just want to emphasize that actually we have the advantage of being their leader, of being the MCP of the organization with full of Gen Z, because after you graduated and then you finish your terms, you will have a lot of competitiveness, like advantage, because outside a lot of leaders from other generations, they need to explore about how Gen Z behave. But we as a leader of Gen Z and also at Gen Z, we have a lot of benefits because we understand them, what they experience, what they feel, what they understand, what is their struggle. We have to do the same because we are the Gen Z leader as well. Yeah, so actually, for example, a leader, a manager from other company or organization from Gen Y, Gen X, or millennial, they need to understand how Gen Z behave, but you guys also have that kind of benefits. Try to understand yourself better and understand your members better to lead them better. Yeah, and this is just some of the suggestions based on the data that we just got, right? But actually you can do more and can understand them more. Cool. And this is some of the external extra data, but actually you guys can notice that this is the extra train from this year, but actually it was built based on the behavior of the majorities of the workforce right now, Gen Z. And we as Gen Z also becomes the future workforce of this world. Yeah, so actually we care a lot about well-being, right? We talk a lot about mental health. We talk a lot about how the organization can benefit and add into our values, something like that. So we care more about well-being, mental health. So extra trains also built beyond like the XR strategies. They focus on the future of work and employee well-beings. Also, number two, employee well-being can stem the great resignations. So for example, if you don't care a lot or talking a lot about their developments or their well-beings, or having, for example, in the RPMs, we also have some sections talking about how to nurture the learning from the MC teams, or how to maximize from the section of Michael, right? How to maximize the MCP, but still having the work-life balance, something like that. So if you care and talking more about well-being, they will happy working for you more. If not, then this will lead to the great resignations. And then right now, maybe it's lead to the new normal. That's people come back to offline work already, but they still prefer online. Still, they prefer hybrid one, online, offline together. Yeah. So a lot of workers outside, they prefer work hybrid. Not 100% offline, not 100% online. They still need the human connections, interaction, but they still need some time for themselves. Working at home, working somewhere else, like in the coffee. Number four, employees seek for company whose values match their own. And this is the thing that Isaac's doing. I consider this is the strength of Isaac already. So we can see how we can maximize these strengths and utilize those. Number five, skill-based hirings on the rise. Number six, longevity lead to the multiple career. So as we focus more about building critical skill and competence, organizational design and change management, as you can see right now, right? Change is inevitable and everything's very uncertain. So which means we need to master more on change management for the actual leader, current and future leadership bench, future of work, diversity, equity, and inclusions. As you can see, right, we're talking a lot about DEI recently. Also, PII implements or deliver the section for you guys about DEI. So you can check the material here. Consider how you can embed this DEI in your entities, and how you can bring that conversation into your plannings to see whether your entities are mastering in diversity, equity, and inclusions. Also prepare for change management and see the leadership personnel, how you can build the personnel for your entities about a leader, which profile of leaders you are seeking for. This is the thing we need to focus on as a HR, not just MCVBTM, but MCP. You need to master this one as well, okay? Next one, how to lead Gen Z. So this is the entire thing as a summary of you that you can just read it. I will not present all of this one, but I feel very related doing this reports because everything is very much with what I want. And also when I talk with my teammates in the Gen Z generation as well, they also feel very related. Yeah, for example, so we have some facts here. Which one do you feel relates? You can type in the chat so that I can see you more. Because we don't have time for discussion, so we can make it fast like this. or any one of you want to share, you can open the mic and then share which one you feel like, oh, this is relatable. Nothing relates. Okay, the leadership style. Okay, thank you, Ali. Cool. Anything more? What the value of work? Nice. Cool. Thanks, Thomas. What motivates Gen Z? Nice. +1 to Thomas. Thankful. Thank you, Isabella. Yeah. Role models also very related, right? Gen Z respectful or not? This is very related as well. We're respectful for the first time, but if our boss just doesn't show the respect back, we're just like, bye boss. Yeah, so we are very like confidence in terms of like our capacities or our opinions, how we can raise the voice, or how we show the capacities. Yeah, well, it's actually all of them. So actually you can see this one whenever you want to for example want to see how your MC team can lead the entire network. You can see like based on this one how you can design the conference cycle, how you can design the way of hosting the commission call, how you can relate by the way of teaching your team leaders of leading the entities or leading the members. Yes, you can relate all of this one. So based on this one, right, how you can design all of the touch points is based on you. And this is also tool and techniques to engage Gen Z, right? You can also take this one whenever you deliver a conference because the majority of your audience will be Gen Z. Yeah, cool. And for HR data, I will not present all of them, but I just walk you through so that you know where to take notes or where to notice, right? For example, in here we have Isaac HR data, and we have the entire history of HR human resources in Isaac. Also, this is the thing you can take note on. Why? Because AP right now we are considering lacking the pipeline. So before that, right, we're having the history of just running crazily for the result of exchange, not considering anything else. We remove the experience of like the membership outside our programs, and we doesn't care about their experience of working here. We just feel like, okay, they are employee of the organization. They need to serve the organization. But actually, they are the main human resources that deliver all the things. So actually, for example, like when you can see that not enough people, and that expanding the demand of the operations. So it's leading to bad fit into position because we're not enough people, right? We just motivate or just like pushing people to apply, and we don't really have the choice, the options to recruit them, but just for example, one position, just only have one people or one person to apply, then you just like take that one. Even you feel like they are not there in the position, but you take it one. Yeah, so the bad people into the positions can leading into the bad leadership, and bad leadership will lead into the bad experience of the members. So the members feel frustrated, feel sad, feel not valued enough, feel not having the mentorship, feel not having the feedback, feel not grow, feel not having the well-beings or work-life balance. And then it's leading to bad pipeline, and bad pipeline will lead into not enough people, and the circle is just going around and around. It vicious circle. We cannot really go out of that. So you can see this one. Is it really aligned with your situation in the organization, in your entities? And also you can notice this one as well. Actually, before that, right, we have finance, we have TM, and after that we have some ideas that you shouldn't have members in back office because they need to understand the operation before coming to the back office. So which means that we will not recruiting people to the back office. And then marketing as well. People come here excited to learning marketing, and we have some space for them to learn. But actually we have the brand centralization. And then event or EY crosses as well, because exchange is the focus. And then for technologies, people, then system centralization as well. So actually when it comes to joining ISAC, we are downgrading the opportunities available for the people to really learn. Yeah, so you can take into consideration of this context to see whether it's related to your entities. And for the MXP data and insight, you can check a little bit in terms of the overall data and your entity data. Together with that, you can see some comparisons with other regions. Like we are very good in terms of like implementing retention rates among the regions. We having a huge number of number of members. We also highest in implementing the OTM process. AP is very good in terms of that, but actually we are a little bit low in terms of like change management and change to a new one. Yeah, and this is the situation in your entities. So this is the shorts. You can come here and then seeing your entity's performance about MXP implementation. Yeah, you downscale it, you track it, or how you can see how you can actually implement that one for your entities. And this is the pipeline predictions. Yeah, actually you see, right, how people, the ratio, how it's healthy and how it's not. For example, you have one for entire AP, you have 1,100. So you divide to 209 to see 1 out of 5, which means one position of LCP, we have 5 people applying for that. But actually for the position of team leader applying to LCVP, it's lacking. It's really, really lacking. Yeah, for every single LCVP, there's just only 2 TL available to apply, which means we are lacking of the LCVP in the future. Yeah, and this is the situation of every single sub-regions. For example, Oceania, OP, right? You can see the alert thing here. The alert one is LCVP, just only one. For example, you open one LCVP position and only 1 TL applying. So if that TL is not capable enough for this position, if you reject him, then no one in that position. If you take him, then it will be very hard to build the capacities and make it like good enough to be the LCVP, which means the entire experience under that LCVP will be affected. You see, right? This is the consequence. Yeah, for Southeast Asia, it's kind of okay. For East Asia, it's very, very alerted. Yeah, just only Japan having a good one. Yeah, so for example, with Japan it's 61 MCVP, but without Japan it's only 25, which means dividing by this divided by 5. So you also have 5 per entities. Yeah, to see how you can recruit people and how you can allocate the positions for the people, right? For example, more position than people. We have 308 LCVP, but we really lack of TL to apply for LCVP in East Asia. And also a lot of entities right now is lacking of MCP position. MCP elects is coming from East Asia as well, Hong Kong, yeah, Mongolia, Taiwan, you can see, right? Yeah, the pipeline is very weak here. And then South Asia, everything is fine, good, cool. So you also see the comparison of sub-regions here, and what is the strength, what is to notice, and some recommendation for your sub-region as well. Yeah, so it's red flag in the East Asia. For South Asia, it's green, Southeast, and OP is yellow. Yeah, so this is all the things that you guys can read and also recommendations. Based on all of this thing, you can bring the conversation forward to the MC planning to see how you can lead Gen Z, how you can plan for HR in your entities, and how you can nurturing the pipeline to solve the HR crisis right now happening in your entities or in your subregions. Cool. Yeah, so I think that's it for the MXP report, and we also publish this report for you guys so that you can bring forward to the MC planning. Cool. That's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Min. Okay, yeah, I think MCB they are dying. It's okay. You can refresh after this. So one last thing, right? Let's go to this sheet, and then you can put back your feedback as well as like your learning for today's play in this sheet. Yeah, I give you one song, then yeah. Let's do it.
You don't need to be an extrovert.
우리들 만나고 헤어지는 모든 일들이 어쩌면 어린아들 놀이 같아. 슬픈 동화 속에 구름 타고 멀리 나르는 작은 요정들의 슬픈 이야기처럼. 그러나 우리들은 알지도 못하고 울지만 사랑은 아름다운 물결처럼. 고운 그대 손을 잡고 밤하늘을 날아서 궁전으로 갈 수도 있어. 난 오직 그대 사랑하는 마음에 바보 같은 꿈 꾸며 이룰 수 없는 조금의 나라로 길을 잃고 헤매고 있어. 그러나 우리들은 알지도 못하고 울지만 사랑은 아름다운 꽃결처럼. 고운 그대 손을 잡고 밤하늘을 날아서 궁전으로 갈 수도 있어. 난 오직 그대 사랑하는 마음에 밤하늘을 날아서 그대 잠든 모습 바라보다가 입 맞추고 날아가고 봐. 둘, 셋. 그러나 우리들 알지도 못하고 울지만 사랑은 아름다운 꽃결처럼. 고운 그대 손을 잡고 밤하늘을 날아서 궁전으로 갈 수도 있어. 궁전으로 갈 수도 있어. 궁전으로 갈 수도 있어.
Okay. Yeah, I think everyone finished. Then let's take one last photo to close the space. You guys can put as an animal. And there are people, if you don't know how to do that, you can put a filter. I will put a filter because I don't know how to do that. Let's be a pig. Okay. I'll give you 10 seconds. Let's wait for Ali and then Isabel. Okay, take your time. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Again, another one. 3, 2, 1. Basically, you need to smile. Just cannot see you smiling. Okay, thank you, NCB, for coming. Bye.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye.